I'm Perry Sholes. I am one of the board of directors for Tales of the Cocktail. I am a New Orleans native. Background, my professional sort of work is around human resources consulting. I also had the opportunity to serve as the chair of the board for the Regional Black Chamber of Commerce here in New Orleans. Actively involved in Louisiana Society for HR Management, and then I run a nonprofit. That nonprofit is focused on helping students of color that are in college with their transition from college into career. I get a lot of energy from doing that work, and so I'm super excited. And there are many elements of working and being on the board with Tales that sort of dovetails into the things that I'm passionate about. So.
Great. That is wonderful. I tell you. Oh, New Orleans, you ready for that Super Bowl coming, huh?
Listen, it is going to be nuts here. It's going to be crazy. So it's going to be Super Bowl and Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Oh.
Mardi Gras is on March the 4th.
Oh,
So
my
that's
goodness.
sort of like,
Back to back.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl is multiple weeks. Mardi Gras literally starts, I think it's 12 or 16 weeks before.
Oh my
So
goodness.
You're in the Super Bowl. So people, when they come for Super Bowl, they will be, Mardi Gras parades and all that.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be coming down for that week to just, test the waters down there to see what's going on.
Just dip
Sure.
your toe in the
Yeah. And then I'm heading back to Philly before the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, we definitely have to connect when you're here again.
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely let you know so you can show me around. All right, we're going to start with some icebreaker questions.
The very first event that happens on Sunday is called Speed Rack.
Mm-hmm.
And Speed Rack is really a all-female bartender competition. They set up bars on the stage and set up everything you need for cocktails. And then there are pairs that compete several rounds, and then they pick a winner. And I love it because it's like really awesome to see female bartenders from around the world, if you will, competing. In between the rounds, there's lots of music, and there's it's in a space like if you've ever been to Tales events, there's all sorts of vendors that are doing spirits. It's a lot of interaction in between the takes. The rounds are a ton of fun, and it's really the camaraderie. And it's all around celebrating and supporting breast cancer. And so for me, that's one of my favorite things to do. It kicks off the week. So it's like on that first Sunday. And so, that's really fun.
Right, and I think it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right?
Yeah.
That's a great cause.
Yeah.
So, if you could share your favorite cocktail recipe with us, what would it be?
So I could tell you my favorite cocktail since I'm not a bartender. I'm a consumer. So my favorite cocktail is Negroni.
Okay.
And I kind of know all the ingredients, but since I'm not a bartender, the closest I've come to it, and this has happened last year. I was in Georgia visiting my daughter, and we found a liquor store that had a pre-mix for Negroni, and so got my pre-mix, got some Tito's, and then I was just happy as a lark. So, if I could make my own little Negroni. So that is my favorite drink. What's interesting is I have drank spirits when I was younger, and then got to a point where my drink of choice was beer. And then coming back to and joining Tales, the board, my first thing was like, if I don't drink spirits, does that knock me out of being a board member? And they were like, absolutely not. So my spirits intake has increased dramatically. And the fun thing about Negroni being my favorite drink is that I recently went to Australia for a big tennis fan.
Okay.
And so I asked the team to give me names of bars that have been nominated for awards. Melbourne, Sydney, and oh gosh, what's the third city I went to? So I went to 3 cities, myself and my nephew. Every bar we went to, I ordered a Negroni. So I
Oh,
was
how was
able
it?
to sort of sample from different places. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I do, because it was at the first year I joined the board. We had a media event, and so I had to get a drink. And so I'm
that's
like,
what you
okay,
ordered.
what drink? Looked at the menu. I'll try a Negroni, and that was my first drink. It took me probably about 5 hours to consume it,
Right. Oh my God.
because I was sipping very slow, because
Right, because you were
yep,
working.
I didn't want to be first time board member running around with the lampshade on my head. Right? So,
That would have been a time to remember.
yep. And you're like, oh yeah, there's the new guy.
Ah, man. That's hilarious.
So yeah, my first Negroni was at a media event for Tails, and it was great. And now it's grown on me. It's my favorite drink.
Oh, fabulous. That's
Right, come
wonderful.
for full circle.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Native New Orleanian. So I was aware of Tails earlier in my sort of return home. I still worked quite a bit outside of the state and city. And so I knew of the brand of Tails. I loved it. I was like, I want to go to, some part of the event. But Tails is typically in the middle of the week. And so by the time I would make it home from my, business travel, it would be over. And so recently I joined, I'm a consultant, so I joined a CEO group. And my coach in that CEO group knows the Solomon family well, and they were looking for a board member, and my coach thought I might be a good fit.
Oh, great.
He recommended me to the Solomon family, and then I got to meet them, interview with them, and then it was a match made in heaven from there, because I was really excited about the brand. I was completely aware of it from before, and when I realized what the opportunity was to serve, I was like, I love the brand, can support
Yeah.
the brand. So it was a really, really good fit. The landscape for the spirits industry, because I'm outside of it, really is from what happens at Tails.
Yeah.
And I love the representation. So we have what we call a CAPS program. It's a cocktail apprentice program.
Okay.
They're individuals who are bartenders, bar owners, brand ambassadors from around the world. They apply to this program. And then during Tails, behind the scenes, these are the individuals that if you go to a seminar and they're giving you a sample of a drink, they're doing all the prep work to make sure that all the servings are ready. At a lot of the events, those bartenders typically are hired at some of the venues, and they're working serving drinks. Those people come 24 nationalities. They're coming from around the world. A good portion of them are from the U.S., but they're coming from all different bars and hospitality organizations around the world. Our board is diverse. The tail staff is all females, and they are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
From what I see, the diversity is there. And I started out talking about the caps. We get to see who they are, so I get to engage with them a little bit because they're super busy.
What can you tell us about how the foundation supports, bartenders and people in the industry in challenging times? I mean, especially just getting started.
Yeah.
The foundation is trying to raise money. So Tails is about raising money to then give back to the community. And so there are a number of grant recipients that received funds from the foundation. So I talked about Speed Rack. There's another organization called Another Round, Another Rally. I believe this is correct. It's a nonprofit. Turning Tables is an organization that helps to train bartenders. So if you know Teray
Yes.
and Jeffrey they're absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
There are other foundations that get supported that are around mental health, the industry, if you will, trying to make sure that you set up and you see those things visible and available to bartenders.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about helping with the lifespan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So not making it just for really young people, but that you can actually, continue to grow and be a bar owner or just a bartender that is 40 or 50 years old and you're
Mm-hmm.
able to have a home, take care of yourself and all of those good things. So the foundation is doing all sorts of things to support that. And the whole Tails Week, the intentionality behind it is still very much industry focused,
Mm-hmm.
and it's giving a space for bar owners, bartenders, brand managers to all come together and collaborate, network around development and growth of the industry. That's the center focus of it. So again, profits, proceeds from the foundation, the Tails Week, and other things that we do are all about, giving back.
Right, right. You spoke a little bit about growth. Let's piggyback off of that. In your
Yep.
experience, what are you seeing? How has growth changed Tails over the years?
So I've been here. I think this is my third year on the board. So one thing was recovering from the pandemic and sort of what
Right.
the implications of that was. So we're really proud that the numbers each year has increased.
Mm-hmm.
The venue changed. The venue was another hotel location and then spread out. We've tried to put as much stuff under one roof now, and still have the community thing because we want people to get out and go see New Orleans and
Right.
experience New Orleans.
She did. I mean,
So
she was sweating in between, you know. So one group is
let me
nice.
tell you, yes, it's
No one
it's
prepares you
the
for that.
hottest week. Yeah, it's part of the Tales experience
Yeah.
because it happens in July,
It
and
certainly is,
so
Perry.
um, what's great about that it's kind of a quiet time in the city, and Tales over the years has been able to grow, and we're contributing about 21 million dollars of economic development
Right.
for the city during that really quiet period where
Period.
typically
Yeah, that's very important.
nothing
Yes.
happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we get sort of the run of the city and specifically in that space. So that growth has happened. We continue to be successful with the CAP program and helping bring first time bartenders into this whole community, which is almost like going to a special sort of experience or boot camp, if you will.
Yeah.
And then they become a community which grows upon themselves. Many of them become bar owners and or bartenders, and then they become featured bartenders around the world because you're getting to meet someone from Australia or from
Right.
New Zealand, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, can you come to my bar? And
It's a
you
wonderful
get bartender.
experience. Yeah.
So all of that is continuing to grow. We're bringing in new programming, like we're being attentive to first timers.
Okay.
So we've had some growth in our programming element around targeting first time attendees and what their experience is, because I'm sure, I don't know, Sonia, when was your first Tales, but it could be like daunting. There's a ton of people, lots of social things, and you need to plug in and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meet other people, get your little crew, Tales crew,
Yeah.
that's going to figure
You
out
need
how
a
to
lot of hands.
Absolutely. So that part's growing, and then we're also constantly looking at programming to sort of fuse. So we've created this year, 2024 was the first time we had something called Futures Lab, which are mini programs, like little 20-minute segments
Yeah.
where we're talking about future things that are coming up. You may not be able to do a full session, like an hour session, but 20 minutes, like, here is what the concept is, here is what's happening in that space, and you're typically getting that information from like a catalyst, someone who's early in the stage of that thing that's growing and
Yeah.
being developing with the industry. And so there's a way to sort of bring, that in. So all of those are the team sort of being sensitive to how we're growing, what the experience is from members, and how do we continue to make sure it's a really great experience for that first timer. So they tell other people, they
Yes.
come back again another time, and then we're doing our work for the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are really in tune with the community and people, in the industry and coming into the event. What is your best advice you can give to someone looking to make their mark in the spirits industry?
Well, I would say for sure come to Tails if you
Yeah.
can get there, right? If you can afford it, come to Tails. I think it's a personal investment. I can think back in my career where I, found out about events and I took vacation in time and went to an event to invest in myself, right?
Yes.
So sometimes you're going to find an organization that will invest for you. Other times it's going to be like I'm in control of my own career and my destiny, so I'm going to do that piece. So I would for sure invite everyone to experience Tails once, and if you do that investment and come, lean all the way in.
Yeah.
Right.
The community really is the thing. And if you come, you should walk away and leave with that community that then should be able to help you grow and develop and things like that. The second thing I would say would be apply to be a CAP. So join our apprentice program. That's a way where you are going to be indoctrinated into this community that is going to be just an amazing career changing experience. Some people do it multiple years, and then there are multiple levels of caps. So there are first timers that are just part of the crew. Then there are leaders at different levels,
Yeah.
and they've been around for a number of years, and those are also bar owners and brand managers that have significant experience, in the industry. So if I could tell you, hey, you're going to go and spend 2 weeks or a week and a half in a boot camp with some of the best leaders, brand managers, and work side by side with some of your best peers in that kind of space. That's really a significant
Yeah.
opportunity for a young person. So
Can we go back to the adolescents that you mentor, leaving school and going into career?
yes,
Is leaning in relationships a big part of what you teach them?
absolutely. Yeah. So for the students, we're working primarily in Louisiana with college students, and so in that program, we're teaching. So we have finance, marketing, IT, engineering. So we're not teaching any technical skills. What we're teaching them is one about self-confidence,
Yeah.
understanding yourself and how you show up at work. What's your superpower? Right? Like how are you wired, right? And so we dive into those kinds of things, and then we apply that to what's your career aspiration, what's the path like. Many don't understand the path, so our thing is we have specifically coaches that are hand selected that come to the table. They're very passionate about working with young professionals, and so they are assigned a group of students, and then they develop a relationship with that student around what is their path forward, and they're really helping them. Everything is around the student helping them find their own path. And so it's really supportive and nurturing from that standpoint. We will take them to, I mentioned I served on the Black Chamber of Commerce. We would bring them to the Black Chamber of Commerce, and they would volunteer, and they would be around all of these, like, business level professionals that are hued, of some level of black and brownness, or allies, meaning corporations that were supporting, the chamber, and then we would have them interacting, with them,
Right, right.
and networking with them. And so we were teaching, and then we also teach them about a community. We're saying, you are all here in this program, and you all came because you were hungry about something to help you grow professionally. Now you're a community, right? And so support each other and then help each other from that standpoint. So that whole networking piece, understanding how to do small talk, and that's a process of breaking that down.
Right.
But it's experiential. And so every opportunity we get to bring them into some sort of space, get them connected, break down the myths or the fear that the student might have, and that's really kind of fundamentally the process.
Yeah.
And then, around the career part, it's helping them understand that you can get a job or you can have a career. Right. And your career is about you owning your own professionalism, right? What do you want to be and how good do you want to be? Do you want to be a leader of the future? And so we're talking at that level now because you have to believe you're going to be a leader to start being on the path to be that leader, right?
Yeah.
And so all of that is fundamental to sort of, building that foundation and help them go.
These are all great pro tips. I mean, it's really important for people to see how to get from A to Z. It takes a village, a network, like you said, a community. A big part of what we're doing with Shakespeare and Mingle is trying to highlight how, the people that we highlight and show as a guest, how they got to where they are. And, the path is something, and someone who can help lead the way, show you, share pro tips, practical skills, like you said, what is your superpower?
Yes.
That's key, and that's amazing. What is your superpower?
So I will say, if I go back to my career, and I was just going to say, like, my path from New Orleans, I grew up in housing project here in New Orleans and some of the lower income. My very first job in high school was McDonald's. And what I love about that experience, looking back on it, systems and process. McDonald's is very system and process oriented. So I learned their system and process and then just sort of follow it. Now I'm a rule breaker. So I loved having a structure to operate within that then I can then be my own self as a leader and an employee. One of the things that I truly vividly remember is trying to make a Big Mac that looked like the picture. Right? And so that led me to really falling in love with training.
Okay.
And then training myself and then teaching other people. And so what's been real constant in my career is the development of people. So first part of my career was restaurant operations. I went in, I was blessed to work for McDonald's, Taco Bell, worked for Target stores, all really great brands in hospitality, food service things. And then I transitioned into consumer products. I was blessed to work for Nabisco and Kraft Foods and training. And then that's started my transition into human resources. So I worked in this real large multinational global company, actually had experience being in human resources for Latin America region of Kraft Foods, all working with young people and leaders, right? So as an HR person, you're constantly responsible for the talent in the organization. So my journey, just being curious and seeing a door that was there or cracked open or whatever, and just kind of barging in, not knowing what the heck was behind it, but just being curious, has been kind of the consistent part for me. So now I'm a consultant, HR, and then working in the nonprofit space, and all of it's been about giving back. I work with entrepreneurs who are growing their business and teaching them and sharing my knowledge about the business space. Consulting, I still love going into organizations and helping them minimize the chaos that prevents them from being really successful.
Right.
And all of that comes from building a culture and community and getting people to sort of identify, what they're good at and then applying that to work. So, consider myself to be a fairly good listener. And, for me, that helps me to understand my clients and then help provide solutions to them. So, just about all of it really centers and comes back to people and giving back to people and, being able to affect positive outcomes that make us feel, rewarded because we were able to produce something of quality, right? We feel good about ourselves
Yeah.
when we do work and meaningful work. And so,
Yeah, that's why we were so excited to speak with you today, because understanding your background, the little bit that I did know, and now you expanding upon that. I mean, you're a perfect fit for that your job right now with
Yeah, I know your
sales.
daughter has to be proud.
Yeah,
This is meaningful work.
very meaningful work, and we need to hear it more.
Yes.
We need to hear it more.
Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to share?
well, yes, because I run a nonprofit.
Yes.
So we're always looking for donations
Okay, great.
to help us with our growth, to do the work we do for our students. So if anyone, is compelled to give $5, $10, $1,000,
Please
$20,000.
tell us the name of your nonprofit and how they can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called internshiptalent.org is our website, so www.internshiptalent.org. And the name of it is Career Immersion and Leadership Institute,
Okay.
Wonderful.
right? And so there's an acronym we use, CILI, so you can either go in and Google www.internshiptalent.org, or you can Google CILI and it should come up, CILI, and
Okay.
it should come up Career Immersion Leadership Institute. And then somewhere on there, you'll find my fat head talking about something.
That was great. This has been great.
It has been wonderful in speaking with you. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as well.
Yes,
Definitely.
for sure.
Awesome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you both. And
Thank you. Thank you.
if there's anything you need from us, and I look forward to seeing you both maybe at Tails. So
Yeah. Well, she has twins and a 4-year-old. So I don't know if she'll
Oh, sure.
I can get away when I can, but
Sure.
this one
I'm the
here.
road warrior. I'm
Okay.
the road warrior. So no, I'll be at Tails again. But I hope
Great.
to see you during Super Bowl week.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let me know.
Okay.